Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping right into the world of data science. So if you've ever been curious about what this field is really all about, well, you're in the right place. We're going to break down all the jargon and give you the lay of the land, starting from the very beginning. You know, every journey has a starting point. And this one, it kicked off way back in 2006. There wasn't a cool title like data scientist back then. It was just a PhD student kind of wrestling with something called multivariate analysis. And the motivation? It was pretty simple, really. Publish or perish. And of course, just trying to keep up with a field that was moving at lightning speed. And that early struggle to just stay afloat? It brings up a really important question that we're going to dig into today. With all the buzzwords and the constant changes, what is the actual value of putting your time and energy into data science, especially right now? Okay, so first things first. Before we can navigate this world, we have to speak the language, right? You hear all these terms thrown around: AI, ML, deep learning. So let's just take a minute and make sure we're all on the same page about what they actually mean. Let's start with the big one, data science. Honestly, the best way to think about this is as the giant umbrella that covers everything else. It's this awesome mix of skills. You've got your stats, your coding, and crucially, some real knowledge about a specific subject. You put all that together to find the story that's hiding inside a whole bunch of messy data. It's all about turning noise into a clear signal. Next up, artificial intelligence, AI. This is the big, grand vision. The whole idea is to build machines that can think, learn, and solve problems in ways that we normally think only humans can. So when you're talking to your phone's assistant or you see a car driving itself, that's AI in action. So where does machine learning, or ML, fit into this puzzle? Well, think of ML as the engine that actually powers most modern AI. Instead of writing millions of lines of code with if this, then that rules, we just feed the computer a ton of data and let it figure out the patterns on its own. It's like we're teaching it by showing it examples, not by giving it strict instructions. And if we zoom in even further, we get to deep learning. This is a really powerful type of machine learning that's actually inspired by the way our own brains work, using something called neural networks. When these networks have a whole bunch of layers stacked one on top of the other, we call them deep. And it's that depth that lets them do incredibly complex things, like understanding what's in a photo or figuring out the meaning of a sentence. And this slide, this lays it all out beautifully. You can see exactly how these ideas fit inside each other. AI is the huge overarching field, the dream. Data science is the practical process we use to build things. Machine learning is one of the most important tools we use in data science. And deep learning, that's a super specialized, really powerful version of that tool. They're all connected. Okay, so now that we've got our terms straight, you might be thinking, all right, I'm ready to get started. What do I actually need? So let's talk about the essential toolkit for anyone who's just starting out on their own data science journey. The first thing, and this is the big one, is data. It's the fuel for everything we're going to do. And the great news is there are some amazing public places to get it. Kaggle is probably the best place to start. It's this huge community with data sets on literally anything you can think of. Plus, they have competitions so you can practice on real problems. Then you have classics like the UCI repository and even super specialized databases like Geo for biological data. All right, so you've got data. Now, where do you learn what to do with it? Look, you are absolutely spoiled for choice. You can go for structured courses on sites like Udemy. But I gotta tell you, do not overlook the free stuff. YouTube is an absolute goldmine. There are channels like Chris Knight's Code Basics that are just phenomenal. My advice, do a bit of both. Use a course to get the big picture, and then dive into YouTube when you get stuck on something specific. And finally, what languages do you need to speak? Let's make this super simple. If you're starting today, just learn Python. The number of libraries and tools available for it is it's unbeatable. R is great too, but Python is going to open more doors for you. Oh, and here's a major pro tip. Learn SQL. It's not as flashy, but being able to get your own data out of a database, that's a superpower. Seriously, it's non-negotiable. But here's the thing. That traditional toolkit we just talked about, it's already changing. Because now we have a whole new kind of tool in the mix, an AI copilot. Things like ChatGPT are completely changing the game, both for how we learn and for how we actually do our jobs. And this slide really gets to the heart of it. It is a total double-edged sword. On one hand, the power is incredible. You can get instant answers, whip up quick charts, and get help with basic code. But the downsides are very real. If you lean on it too much, especially when you're just starting out, you never build those fundamental problem-solving muscles. You're not developing the skills you need for the tough, messy, real-world problems. So all of this, it leads us to the million-dollar question. With all these new tools and changes, what does the future of data science even look like? Well, for one thing, the job itself is expanding. It used to be that your main job was just to build a really good model. But as you can see here, that's really just step one now. Today, it's also about getting that model out into the world, into a real application. That's deployment. And then watching it over time to make sure it's still working correctly. You're responsible for the whole life cycle. So here's the takeaway. The future isn't about becoming a human encyclopedia of code. An AI can write code. The future is about deeply understanding why that code works. The people who are going to be most in demand are the ones who can see the whole picture, from the initial idea all the way to monitoring, and who really truly understand the industry they're working in. So yeah, the job is definitely changing, but the future is incredibly bright. If you're someone who loves to learn, who's more focused on understanding the core ideas than just memorizing syntax, and who can think about that entire data journey, well, your future in this field is looking really, really good. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our explainer today, but it's really just the beginning of your own odyssey. The tools are here. They are more powerful than they have ever been. So the real question isn't just about how you're going to do data science. The question is, what are you going to do with it? What are the big, meaningful problems that you are going to solve?
Despite what some people say about the future of data science jobs, I am still committed to this journey. I continue to invest my time and even my money because learning itself matters to me. Books like Hands-on Machine Learning with Scikit-learn and PyTorch by Aurélien Giron keep pushing me forward. Another book on machine learning that I've invested in recently is the one by Rashka, Liu and Mirja Lele. These resources remind me that growth doesn't depend on trends. It depends on passion and consistency. So if you are learning to stay encouraged, we are building skills that will always find a place.